Hello everyone, thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please do not forget to hit on the like button. Today, a medical doctor is crying out all because what belongs to him was forcefully taken away from him. This medical doctor you're seeing there is Dr. Anthony, and right now he's accusing his former colleague of snatching his own wife. He also accused his best friend of creating way and making it very easy for his colleague to take his wife away from him. But friends, you're seeing that's the wife there. This is a very matured woman. Are we now saying that she was lured into going with the doctor's colleague, or is it like something went wrong before she left her husband, Dr. Anthony? Well, we'll get to find out as we go further. Dr. Anthony also took to his Facebook to claim that Dr. George, his colleague, whom he went to medical school with, snatched his wife from him after inviting her back to Nigeria from the United States. He then called on the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria to sanction his colleague, that's Dr. George, for allegedly defiling his wife. Dr. Anthony went on to call out his best friend and roommate in school who served as a witness during his wedding, because that was the only guy he felt was the closest to him, and that's the only person he felt would stand by him. Usually when you go to court for the court wedding, you need witnesses. If you want to take more than one person, if you just want one person, but at least there should be a witness. And he had to take his friend, who is also a doctor like him. But right now, Dr. Anthony is saying that his friend, who is called Dr. Amachuku, acted as a witness during his wedding, yet this same guy whom he felt he trusted a lot single-handedly destroyed the same marriage he witnessed, claiming that he helped his colleague, that's Dr. George, to take his wife from him, inciting that his best friend knew their in and out. His best friend knew a whole lot about him and about his wife. And that made it easier for him to keep on communicating with his colleague, Dr. George, on how to get his wife. Since Dr. George cited and told him that he liked Dr. Anthony's wife and that he would love them to be together, his best friend, knowing everything about them, had to help the doctor reach out and get hold of his wife, whom they are now together. But that is what Dr. Anthony is actually claiming, although his friend Dr. Amachuku has not said anything. Anthony shared a copy of his marriage certificate and wedding photos to prove he married his wife legally, and that is the wedding certificate and also the wedding photo. You can see Dr. George holding the certificate while he took pictures with his wife. Right now, Dr. Anthony has also called his friend and informed him that he is going to take Dr. George to court. He went straight ahead to even tell Dr. George right to his face that he is going to fight him legally for taking his wife away from him. But friends, isn't this looking somehow dicey? Like there is something they are not saying. Did the friend just go and meet the colleague just like that and ask him if he has interest in the wife? That is what Dr. Anthony is not really pointing down here. He is not saying the whole genesis, how this whole thing started, because if there is a problem like this, if this woman left her husband while they were still legally married, according to Dr. Anthony, it obviously means something must have gone wrong from somewhere that must have led this woman to leave her home. A woman in her right senses will not just leave her home just like that for no reason. Even if it's for a good reason or for a bad reason, there must be a reason so as to know how to tackle issues like this. And these are the words coming from Dr. Anthony straight from his Facebook page. If you go down to his Facebook page, you're going to see that he said this: "You are talking about Boma, who never knew Tega's husband from Adam. What about Dr. George, also called Major, who invited his friend, classmate, and teammate of 8 years' wife and slept with her? Not girlfriend, wife for that matter. He invited her from the United States and then messed with her in Abuja in the company of his friends, roommates, and another friend and classmate of almost 8 years. The young doctor never killed him, and nobody has evicted Major. It's only the MDCN he is waiting on to take action on him, as they both took the Hippocratic oaths, where your colleague is supposed to be your brother. Dr. George is a graduate of Uniport and a citizen of Mbaitoli in Imo State, Nigeria. His mother hails from Abia State. That guy should be dealt with the same energy the people have used to bring Boma down. I also call on University of Port Harcourt to review his certificate. Nobody trained as a doctor should behave this way. It should serve as a lesson to others. University of Port Harcourt never trained us in learning, but also in character. I will be reporting to the Senate of University of Port Harcourt to take the necessary disciplinary actions before this doctor bring an international disgrace on our unique Uniport. MDCN and University of Port Harcourt, it's up to you." This is what Dr. Anthony wrote on his Facebook page. And that didn't end there. He went further to say this: "The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria and University of Port Harcourt Senate should take the necessary steps to fix this ugly action of a doctor who was found defiling the wife of a colleague. If his actions are not checked, he might bring more bad image to these two institutions and Nigeria at large. More evidences are available to back the whole stuff up. We can't disregard this, as it might damage the image of medical profession and create distrust on our patients and relatives. Anyone that could do this to his colleague and friend's wife can actually sleep with his parents." These are the words coming from Dr. Anthony. He said again, "I shared so many years of friendship with you, Dr. Amachuku. You stayed with me in my room for several years without paying a kobo. I thought I was dealing with a friend all these years, not knowing that you are a wolf in sheep's clothing. You pretend to be my friend, but I never knew you were never close to being one. The same marriage you acted as the witness was the same marriage you single-handedly destroyed through a teamwork with Dr. George. You did them for reasons I believe is best known to you. But don't forget that karma don't spare traitors. You betrayed your man for nothing. You took oath in court as my witness and friend and still took the photos of where someone is making out with my wife in public. You are a disgrace." So this is what he's actually telling his best friend, whom he is claiming now that the best friend was the one who actually helped Dr. George to get hold of his wife. And he's saying this again: "It came to my notice that Dr. George is making claims that the marriage with my wife wasn't legal, and that was his conviction for going ahead to ruin my home and defile my wife, and even had the guts to text my dad and threaten for legal actions on me. I have never seen a joke like you. A marriage you congratulated me, and because of your callousness, you hardened your heart and deceived my wife into following you to Dubai and Abuja, where you slept with her for weeks. I promise to legally deal with you and your promiscuity. Below are my marriage certificate and other relevant photos to convince the public that you are a scum. You don't deserve to touch a patient again in Nigeria as a doctor." All of these are what Dr. Anthony had posted on his Facebook, and you can see pictures of proof indicating that this same woman is his wife. So, what really happened? In all of this, the question is, Dr. Anthony, where were you? Were you on a business trip? Were you in a different state? All right, we know that he mentioned his wife being in the United States. Then, how was it that Dr. George, who is just a colleague, had more access to his wife than him, who is the husband? Also, how come Dr. George will just call on his wife all the way from the United States, invite her back home to Nigeria, and take her on trips all the way to Dubai and back to Abuja? How come all of this was happening? Was Dr. Anthony in a particular kind of business or activity that he was not paying attention? Something must have gone wrong, because no man can just come and snatch another man's wife just like that. It's not possible. Likewise, no woman will just leave her husband's house just like that. There must always be a reason. Like I said earlier, it's either there's a good reason or a bad reason. There must be a reason. Friends, looking at all of this, don't you think that there's something missing here? He didn't say if him and his wife had issues. Neither did he say if him and his colleague had issues. Neither did he say if him and his best friend had issues. And all of these three guys are medical doctors. You can see how messy. These are things that happen in college, in the university, and seeing it happen amidst matured men, you'll be like, what is all of this? Is it that the woman don't have a sense of direction? Is that the woman don't know what she wants? Or is that the woman was confused to have gotten married to his colleague? And also, is it that the Mr. George can't see any other woman? If this is true, according to how Dr. Anthony has presented it, Dr. George, a question to you. Are there no other women out there? Must it be someone else's wife? Also, to the friend, if you really did this, why did you go ahead to do it? Why did you create a room to gain access to his wife using his own colleague? Is it that the bond of trust between himself and Dr. Anthony wasn't there anymore? Or was he threatened? Will a friend, a close friend, do this to his fellow friend? You know, one thing about his friend was that Dr. Amachuku was very close to the family. He was always there, so he knew their in and out. He knew everything that was actually happening in the family. And that was why it was very easy for him to talk to the wife of his friend Anthony, and she listened to him. All right, let's assume that Dr. Anthony's wife was tricked. She didn't know anything, neither was she in the picture of their whole plan. And then they just brought her down and start questioning her or asking her out. Is it that she wouldn't ask questions? Someone will call you all the way from the United States to come down to Nigeria, and then you just come down without asking questions? How possible is that? How possible is that? So does it mean that someone will just sit down and decide that she doesn't want to be with her husband anymore? For what reason? You know, most times people will always want to find out what happened. Here it's so clear that someone is not saying something. It's very, very possible. Well, if anyone is not ready to talk, it obviously means that Dr. Anthony will just keep on suffering. And it will be worse if the woman is not ready to go back to him. I'm sure this woman and Dr. George, whom has been presented online, it's all over the internet, will definitely come out to debunk or either defend themselves and to explain how this whole thing started, because it's very messy. One, if it's true that Dr. George had taken Dr. Amachu, Dr. Anthony's wife away from him, that is totally wrong. And if the best friend, that Dr. Amachuku, helped him to gain access to the wife, then he has betrayed trust, he has betrayed friendship, he has betrayed brotherhood. There are more to this than what they are just saying, because Dr. Anthony cannot just say his colleague just snatched his wife, his friend helped him and made the way easy for him, and he just walked in and picked his wife and left. It's not anywhere visible at all. Even the wife, despite knowing everything, she will still ask, is it safe? You can see here from this picture, the wife is acting excited and less concerned, and that is the wife with her husband's colleague. However it turns out to be, whatever updates are made regarding this, definitely I'll keep my friends and views updated. It's not easy for any man to come out to say something like this. It is not easy for any man to lose his wife, especially when there was nothing wrong. Losing her to the hands of someone he is working with, of someone he felt that should understand these things better. So how was it possible that the colleague succeeded in luring his wife and his wife came to him? Is it that Dr. Anthony doesn't pay attention to his wife? Is it like Dr. Anthony doesn't give his wife enough time as the wife and the mother of the house? You know, so many things might have led to her leaving the house. If she is really with his colleague right now, she would also have her own side of the story. Women that would leave the house just like that with a husband in the house, you must know that something must have gone wrong somewhere. Also, Dr. Anthony has decided that they are going to end all of this in court. It's not going to be just a physical or verbal word between him, Dr. George, and Dr. Amachiku. They will all have to go and face the law. Well, we'll get to see and know if they eventually take them to court who is going to win the verdict at the end of the day. Friends, please, if you have anything to say, you could put that down at the comment section. If this is really true, which means people need to be very careful of whom they allow into their lives. If his friend truly betrayed him by letting his colleague have access to his wife through his own information, then keep your friends far away from home. Keep your partner far away from home. Let it just be anything business should be done far away. Except someone knows your whereabouts, except someone who knows you too well can send people to come and attack you or can send people against you. But someone who don't know your whereabouts, who doesn't know you're going out and you're coming in, it will be difficult for that person to actually do anything, even if the person has intentions. It will take some time. But for someone who know you in and out, who know you more than anything, then just know that if anything goes wrong, that person is ready and willing to risk it all. Always watch your back and know the kind of people you bring into your house and know whom you are bringing very close as a close friend. And then for the wife, if she actually left the home as a result of either financial constraints or whatever reason that may be, no woman is justified for leaving her husband's house when there is no problem, except in situations of domestic violence and the woman decides to run away from the house. Then that's a situation when I know that even the society is in support of it, because the society have said it several times. If you are going through a domestic marriage home, you should call for help. You should speak up. Don't just bottle it up inside of you. Say something so that you can get the help you deserve. So in those cases, they are exceptional cases. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please don't forget to hit on the like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you. God bless you all.